best never rest. More specifically, those who strive to be their best never rest. There are several transcendent truths in life. Number one, everyone desires to become their personal and professional best. And number two, most fall short, sometimes significantly, of fulfilling and living their God-given potential. The good news is that each one of us could become our best if we simply choose to follow the path and the habits of the best. The best never rest. Every day, they wake up and invest in themselves. They dedicate their time to actions that move them closer to their goals. At Supreme Southeast, we recognize these truths and have set out on a journey to uncover what the best do, so we can follow their game plan.
It's hard to wake up every day and go bust tail. It's hard to go do what you're supposed to do every single day. So creating that habit is just getting up and doing it. Just do it.
Or you could have another mindset, could say, you know what? It's gone bad. We haven't performed, but we're in a situation for the perfect comeback.
And you have to be excited about the goal, the cause you're going after.
Obviously, if you don't have any goals or aspirations or sense of purpose in your life, then how do you define the process of what you have to do to accomplish that? So that becomes the most important thing.
Now more than ever, you got to talk about what you're committed to. You got to want it more, and you got to take the actions necessary to create the goals you have.
Don't worry about the results right now. Just do it, because what you become through the hard work is the most important part.
We think that the life of goals and vision is an easier life. It isn't. It's a harder life, but it's more meaningful.
It's easy to keep a goal quiet. You know why we keep goals quiet? Because we don't want people to know we didn't reach them. You set a goal in your mind and you don't reach it, no one knows if you didn't. I say my stuff out loud.
Well, the process to me is just a definition of the things that you have to do to accomplish the goals that you have.
As the head coach of Supreme Southeast, my mission is to help you reach your best. It's my responsibility to leave you better than I found you by offering you unconditional love and support. Provide a game plan, a life plan that leads you to best, and hold you accountable so that you reach your full potential in every area of life. Throughout our journey, we've encountered incredible individuals, even some of the GOATs. These guests, much like us, came from diverse backgrounds and experiences, but they all share one key trait: they never rest. They keep investing in their growth every single day, striving to always get better.
I call that love and accountability. You got to love people, invest in the relationship, but you got to have accountability to the standards, to the culture, to the values, to the principles. What are your standards? Once you know the standards, it's actually easy to lead, because you can say, hey, these are our standards we talked about. This is what Saban loves to do.
So it's not just understanding this is what we have to do to accomplish the goals. It's also how do I have to edit my behavior to do it? And then the next part, which is probably the most difficult, is do you have the discipline to execute it every day?
So it starts with devoting time, lots of time, into developing the skills that are needed for whatever you're doing.
Sure.
You know, and so that I think people try to skip over, or they try to speed up.
So sometimes in our life, we think that I was meant for these setups, or sometimes we think I'm so disappointed because it's a setback. But with every setback, we need to understand that it's maybe God setting us up for what He's actually called us to do. And sometimes we're like, man, the mountaintops are so amazing, and sometimes they are. Man, sometimes it feels really good. But also, most of the time when we learn the most, it's in the valleys.
Sure.
It's about mindset, it's about understanding, it's about having a sense of purpose, it's about understanding exactly what you have to do to accomplish the goals that you have, and then having the discipline to execute it every day.
The best always have a game plan, a life plan. It starts with setting a standard. They create goals across every area of their life, using those goals as benchmarks for success. They don't spend time, they invest time. They focus on what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and how it needs to be done. Discipline is their daily practice. Every day, they aim to do everything just a little bit better than the day before. The best are accountable, not just to themselves, but to their family, to their friends, to their teammates, and to their coach. Along the way, we've learned that everything in life matters, but relationships matter most. Being committed in relationships is good. Being radically committed is best. Radical commitment requires sacrifice, and sacrifice always comes before achieving your best in any relationship.
And he said, well, you put people at the center. So he said, we must rapidly become a people-centered society rather than a thing-centered society.
You know, I think everybody's got this amount of pride in their system that they just, they want to be right or they want to be whatever. And obviously, you know, selfishness is one of the biggest detriments to any relationship.
You know, and I think in these moments of extreme exhaustion, these seemingly small acts of selfishness, of boat ducking, or the opposite of someone who tries to take the position on the boat that has the heaviest weight, or you can tell pushing extra hard when even nobody's maybe looking and the instructors aren't going to see it. I mean, it's really heroic, and it elicits such respect. But what it also does, it motivates other people in the boat crew to be like, yeah, he's pushing extra hard for me, I'm going to try to push extra hard. And everyone is better because that person's virtue.
That we literally live in this world house, and these are our brothers and sisters all over the world. And he said we must learn how to live together as brothers, and I had sisters, and he was brothers for us back then meant everybody.
Right.
Or we will be forced, together we will be forced to perish as fools. And then he went on to talk about how we've made so much progress.
One thing is certain, life is hard. If you pursue your best, life will be hard. If you don't, life will still be hard. The difference? Those who aim for their best learn how to handle hard better. The last 2 years in our industry have been a season of challenges, a true desert season. After years in the land of milk and honey, hard showed up. But even in the desert, the game plan for handling hard is clear. First, reflect on your time in the land of milk and honey. Then, recognize that the desert still provides you what you need, even if it's not what you want. And finally, focus on gratitude and getting better every day. What the best never do is complain or blame. When things don't go their way, they don't waste time pointing fingers. Instead, they focus on improvement.
I think it starts with having an understanding for the inevitability of hard.
I mean, the best golfers in the world are going to bogey holes. The best coaches are going to make bad calls. The best basketball players are going to miss free throws. But they don't miss 5 in a row. They don't miss 3 in a row. Golfers bogey holes, but the best ones don't bogey 2 in a row.
You can never have a comeback without a setback. It's literally impossible. You have to have a setback to have a comeback. So why not in our lives, when we have those setbacks, choose to have the mindset of, okay, it's a setback. Doesn't mean I'm comfortable, doesn't mean I'm satisfied, but I can't have the mindset of I'm gonna have a crazy comeback.
And this is where people struggle the most. There's a lot of people that know what they want to do. They have a sense of purpose. They even know what they have to do it, but they can't execute it on a consistent basis. I mean, we're all guilty of, we go on a diet, we want to lose 10 pounds, that's our goal. Slim Fast tells us exactly what we can eat every day. That's kind of the process. But 3 days later, we're eating pie and ice cream. So we don't have the discipline.
Looking at a challenge and the self-talk or the outward talk is about how hard the challenge is. It's really taking away from what needs to happen.
Ooh.
Okay, I gotta run these sprints. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so hard. This is gonna be so hard. This is gonna be so hard. We get it. It's difficult. How can you attack it?
At Supreme Southeast, we've created tools to help you handle hard better, including the Supreme Safety Net, Supreme Essentials, and most recently, the introduction of Supreme Connection. These are just a few examples of how we continue to invest in helping you become your best. Yes, the past 2 years have been hard, really hard. But as we look ahead, forecasts suggest 2025 will bring improvements. Doesn't mean it will be easy. Life is always hard, but hard is what shapes us into our best.
Life's not easy, but my goal stayed the same, and it's been my guiding light all the way through my career.
It's about not seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, but knowing that you have the power to overcome the thorn. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about maintaining optimism, belief, and faith in order to create a better reality.
This is a bridge that you have to cross if you're going to be successful. And it's feeling versus choice. You're going to choose to do the things you need to do to accomplish the goals that you have, or you're going to do what you feel like doing.
I think it's living into your potential and doing the best you can with what you have every day and not squandering resources and not falling prey to the energy of the world. Because if you let the energy of the world dictate your future, man, it's going to be random and probably not where you intended or want to be.
I believe that the best of the best don't chase achievement. They chase this idea of how to get better every day, this belief that it's about getting better every day, that it's not about achievement.
One of the biggest fallacies of life is that we're ever a finished product. And we send messaging throughout our life and throughout society where like you're done, you've made it. 18-year-olds aren't finished products. We know that because we've been 18. 25-year-olds aren't finished products. 50-year-olds aren't finished products. 60-year-olds aren't finished products. 70-year-olds aren't finished products. There's always room to grow.
Something
and improve.
to do better.
Always.
As we close out the 2024 season, I encourage you to reflect on how you've chosen to invest your time during this desert season. And as you look forward, make the next best choice, because best is waiting. And remember, best never rest. See you in 2025.